So guys, I am particularly starting this topic, right? So Mohit, Pame and Pradeep sir, if you have any issue related to any previous topics, then let me know as soon as possible. Otherwise, today we'll start with MySQL topic. Mohit, Pame and Pradeep sir, candidates.
No, sir, no doubt.
Everything's good? Okay,
Yes, sir.
perfect.
Please, sir.
So candidate, why there is a requirement of MySQL, right? What is the use of MySQL in database and connectivity? Let me show you. Suppose this is my file, and in this file I have some data like this, students details, and that student details is stored in form of dictionary. Mohit, can I say this? Name is something like this: Mohit, Akshay, Ravi and Sachin, right? And their respective age is something this, and their respective salary is like this. Perfect. Candidates, any doubt? No. So my
No,
question
sir.
is, suppose I want to convert this data into data frames. So for that I have to import pandas as PD. Is it PANDAS as PD? And then you have to pass this student details inside this data frame function. I can say this is a data frame class, not a function. You have to give something like this, and most probably you will get the same result, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
Pradeep sir, my question is, like particularly I have stored this data in this untitled one notebook. Let me just change this to students database, right? Students database. So my
Okay.
question is, Mohit, to you, can you access this database? I know that this data is particularly stored in my Jupyter notebook, in my system localhost. So question is, can you just like particularly access this data using any concept? No? Mohit, can you access this data?
Yeah.
I think it's not be that much of accessible, right?
Yes, yes.
Because that data is particularly stored in my local computer. How can you particularly explore, like access this data? Yes or no? In fact, the same question arises if particularly I want to access this data into another notebook. I cannot even do that. Why? Because that particular data is stored in that particular file, which is students underscore database, and that file cannot be directly communicate with this particular untitled file 1 or something we can say file 2. Yes or no, candidates? If I just simply print
Yes.
this students detail, will I get the same result as I have seen there or not? Just let me know, guys.
No, sir.
No, definitely it will give me the error, right? And what exactly that error will be? It is a name error, right? You cannot directly particular call any variable if it is not declared, right? That is the issue. Let me just restart my kernel and clear output, right? This file is not running as now. If I just simply print this, I'll get this error, right? Students details, and I have declared the same variable name which is students declared, but I could not get the same result because that particular this file cannot be communicate with directly this file. Yes or no? Right, this is the issue. That's why there is a requirement of central database system or a central database location or something we can say central database storage, where we can store all the data and anyone can easily access that database if he or she is permitted to particularly extract that data or access that data. Yes or no? Can I say this? So if someone is particularly inserting any data, it should be stored inside a database. That's why there is a requirement of container which generally store all the data of all the information of all the details. Yes or no? Mohit, Pradeep sir, can I say this?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Because this data is stored locally, so that's why I cannot directly call this data. That's why there is a requirement of central container which is called database. To particularly deal with database, we have to learn the concept which is called SQL. SQL is a structured query programming language. SQL is called Structured query language. STRUCTURED. Structured QUERY language. LANGUAGE, right? Structured query language. And what exactly that structured represent, Mohit? Structure directly represent to this structured table. If anything or any data is stored in this tabular format, I can directly say this is my structured data. And if it is this in structured format, I can directly call the data if it is required with the help of this SQL language, which is called structured query language. Can I say this, Pradeep sir? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So SQL, Mohit, is a domain specific programming language. It is not just a simple programming language. It is a, what exactly the meaning of, Mohit, domain specific programming language? This programming language is specifically devoted to a particular domain. You cannot call this language to perform some certain different task, right? You can just only call this language to particularly perform a SQL related task, a tabular data related task. Not, it cannot be used to particularly create a software like a gaming software and something so on. It can be only like particularly be called if it is required to store a particular data. Yes or no? Pamay, Pradeep sir, any
Yes.
doubt? No?
Yes, sir.
So that's why there is a requirement of structured query language. Guys, in previous scenarios, we just simply stored a data in just tabular format, which is Excel, right? In old days, there is no such format of Excel. We have to store that data in just a simple notebook, right? Let me take example of any like police station in which we have to, like if someone is particularly asking for any FIR cases, they have to particularly search for different files in particular different warehouses and all the locations, and it is not that much of possible that particularly file can be called at once, right? So that's why some developers made something this which is called Excel. In this Excel, we can store a tabular data. But right now, Excel is not that much capable to particularly store all the types possible data, right? That's why there is a requirement of some database container, which is called database management system. Database management, MANAGEMENT, management system. It is just a tool, it is just a software which generally helps you to particularly manage the database. What exactly the database is? A database is nothing, it's just a container which generally holds a data into a raw format or a meaningful information, we can say this also, right? With any doubt?
No, sir.
Can I say this, Pradeep sir, is my C drive and D drive are my database? Can I say this, Pradeep sir?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, C drive and D drives are somehow can be correlated to database, but it is not exactly that database, right? That database is something which generally store all the information, whether it is tabular information or it is not tabular information, right? A database and drive both look similar, but databases generally refer when we want to store a data in tabular format or in any sort of format, right? So big companies spend their time to particularly create a large databases. Let me just show you Google Data Center, right? In this Google Data Center, this is something the stacks of all these databases and in a particular rooms are called data center, right? Even the founder of Google does not know where exactly the Mohit's files is, right? The founder could
Yes.
not say this is database which is related to Pradeep's files. He cannot say that, right? Because all files are stored in encrypted format or end-to-end encrypted, right? Yes or no? Candidates, any doubt related to this? No? So
Yes.
that's why there is a requirement to particularly store a data. And is there any limit to store a data inside database? No, there is no such limit. The only limit is limited to your pocket. If you are able to particularly spend more money, then you can able to get more databases if you want, right?
Yes, sir.
Pame, can I say this? Pradeep sir, yes or no? I think you are already aware of that. Yes, sir. Pradeep sir, because you were working as a SQL developer, right? Mohit, any doubt related to this?
No, sir.
No. So,
No, sir.
Mohit, in market, we have different types of databases or database management system. A database management is a software, is a system which generally allows you to perform certain tasks related to databases. What are those certain tasks? You can create database, you can delete database, you can drop database, you can create tables inside database. Yes or no? To particularly call all these tasks, you should have some management system, and that management system is called database management system. It's nothing, it's just a software which allows you to particularly communicate with database. Can I say this, Pradeep sir? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mohit. Now, what are the different types of DBMS available in market? The short form of DBMS is database management system. I just simply Google it, list of some popular DBMS. List some popular DBMS, right? And this is very popular image, right? If anyone is telling that he or she is working in Oracle as a database engineer, MySQL, Microsoft, if he or she is using Microsoft SQL Server, PostgreSQL, MongoDB, or anything which is IBM DB2, Splunk, SQLite, Cassandra, Hive, HBase, SAP HANA, and something so on. Yes or no? Well, all these are the popular databases, right? And what all these particular databases works on, it directly or indirectly works on SQL programming language, right? There are some which is no SQL in nature as well, which is MongoDB. It's called no SQL programming language, and no SQL means, let me just give you the basic example. SQL directly can be used if we have a tabular data. If we have a tabular data, Mohit, we have to work on SQL languages, right?
Yes, sir.
But if we have a file format data like images, audios, MP3, MP4, right? In that case, there is a format which is called file format, and that format is called NoSQL. NoSQL is, it's not like that. It is not SQL. It's like not only SQL. What exactly NoSQL means? Not only SQL. It means it is not only SQL. It is far more beyond that. Yes, you know. Can I say this, Mohit?
Yes, sir.
Right? So right now we have to, because we are working as a data analyst or we'll work as a data analyst, we have to work on most of the time in tabular data context, right? That's why there is a requirement of SQL. SQL is a programming language which generally allows you to communicate with tabular databases, which is tabular table, and you can particularly view all the tables, you can particularly view all the records, you can delete the records, you can view the records, you can fetch all the records, you can particularly update the records if it is required, right? Can I say this? Okay.
Yes,
Now the
Okay.
now the question is, what are the different, right now market in, we have different types of databases. The question is, what different types of databases we have to particularly work on, right? So first of all, guys, both starting 3 and 4, like both are similar in nature, right? If someone is working as a MySQL developer, they can directly plan for Microsoft SQL Server, and there is a like similarity of 60 to 70% of same SQL syntax, which is called same SQL queries, right? If someone is working as an Oracle database engineer, they can easily transit their career into MySQL database engineer because the syntax are some sort of similar in nature. Mohit, statements are clear or not? Yes or no? Just let me know.
yes, sir.
Right? Perfect. So guys, we'll start with MySQL, then we'll focus some sort of SQL server concept, and then we like particularly wants to focus on SQLite, which is the lighter version of this SQL, right? If I don't want to install any software or particular any management system, then Python generally give you SQLite version, which is a lighter version of SQL, right? So first of all, we'll start with the MySQL concept, right? A MySQL again is a DBMS tool, right? DBMS, a database management system. But the question, Mohit, is right now in market, all tables are related to each other, right? A one table, a one database is related to another database or other databases, right? So that's why
Yes,
in
sir.
market, we just not have a simply database management system. Right now, what we have is RDBMS, which is called Relational Database
Relational
Management
database
System,
management
right?
system.
So
Yes.
MySQL is an example of relational database management system. Let me show you how exactly the RDBMS look like. RDBMS, and it's something like this. RDBMS is the exact image. This one is the exact image, right? Mohit, you can see here that this is my table 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on, and all these tables are directly or indirectly related to each other. Yes or no? They are
Yes, sir.
directly connected with another table. So can I say that there is something, one similar column in all those tables? That's why they are directly or indirectly connected to each one. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
They could be like any primary column, right? Roll number, employee ID, uh, anything, some sort of anything columns, right? They can generally can pick to particularly create a relationship between two or more tables. Yes or no? Because all tables are related each other with this relationship, that's why the terms called RDBMS or relational databases. Yes or no? And each individual stacks represent a simple database. Pradeep sir, any doubt?
No, sir, no.
No. So
Yeah.
guys, first of all, MySQL is a database management system tool. And in this tool, what we write, we just simply write a SQL query. And what exactly the SQL query is? It is a language which helps to communicate with the database. And database is like a Chinese person which does not understand that are different languages, English or Hindi. It just only know the Chinese language. So this is the same example as SQL, right? It does not know any different languages. To communicate with it with this database, we have to write SQL query. Why this is query? Because we are querying our database. We write some questions to particularly ask some values. That's why this is called query, and that term is called SQL. Right now, Mohit, what we have to do? We have to particularly download this MySQL, right? So guys, I just want you to let me know whether you have installed this or not. Mohit, because you are in Power BI class also, right? So I think you have already installed in your system MySQL, right, Pradeep sir?
Yes, it's
Okay,
installed.
Pamay, what about you? If am I audible? Okay, no issue. So I'll just simply guide you how to download this MySQL, right? Well, I have some sort of videos for that also, right? And right now I'll just show you what is the use of this, right? MySQL. Pame, if am I audible, I'll definitely give you the video link, right? How and where to download this MySQL, right? Mohit, you have to click on this, right? Not this one, MySQL installer 8.0.39. You can click any one of them, right? Either this or this, download. And then after this, you have to just simply click on next, next, next. There are some like little bit steps that you have to particularly care about, but I'll definitely give you the video. Definitely it will help you, right? Pradeep sir, any doubt?
No,
No.
sir, no, sir.
So guys, what will be our approach? Our approach will be like, first we'll devote today's and tomorrow's 2 hours each class to particularly deep dive into the concept of SQL with the help of this MySQL tool. Okay, Mohit? Now, once we complete this,
Yes,
we'll
sir.
particularly focus on how to connect Python to MySQL, right? Why we are learning this, right? We are learning this particularly because we want to connect our MySQL with the Python, right? So that both two different programming languages can connect each other, can communicate if it is required, right? Python to MySQL. Yes, you know?
Yes, sir.
So guys, in upcoming classes, we'll not work on this Jupyter notebook, right? There is no such use of this in MySQL, right? Once we complete this, then when this is the concept we have to work on, then we'll definitely comes to this Jupyter notebook, right? As of now, we are just closing this. Mohit, Ame and Pradeep sir, any doubt? No?
No, sir.
Okay, let me close all the tabs so that I'll get some free space in storage C. Okay, now what you have to do, if you have successfully installed MySQL Workbench, you have to just simply click on it, right? Let me just give you the basic overview. This is called MySQL Workbench. This is a GUI application, or this one is the RDBMS tool, right? Mohit, this is called MySQL connection particular parameters, right? Because this system picks
Yes.
my local instance or local storage. That's why this is called local instance MySQL 80. This is called username, which is root, and it's by default in nature, right? This is called localhost. You have to click on it. If you have particularly passed any password while you are installing this, then you have to give the same password. If it is not, then just simply let it be, right? Click enter. Guys, you will not find the same cases or the scenarios because I have to particularly give different classes on MySQL. That's why I have to work on different types. You will not find the same types, right? I mean, now what you have to do, control T, Mohit, is a shortcut to create a new tab, right? Once you open this, you'll get this type of UI. Now, Mohit, you have to click on this schema. Mohit, schemas and databases are different words, but the meaning remains same, right? In nature, right? So database itself represent schema and schema represent itself databases. If I am using either one of them, it directly or indirectly represent the same thing. Pradeep sir, any doubt related to this? No? Guys, once you open this, you will get something UI like this. You have to click on this last one so that particularly you will get a complete query page so that you can write comfortable queries, right? Mohit, this is called action output. Whatever you are writing and if you are executing this query, the result will be shown here. Yes or no? Mohit, you will
Yes.
not get the list of all these databases because all these databases are created by me. You will found particularly three by default databases, and what are those? The first one is sys, the second one is world, and the third one is WORLD, and the third one is Sakila. All these three databases are by default, and this is created by MySQL itself so that you can perform some basic sort of SQL queries. Is it, guys? Yes or no? Any question related to this? No? Pradeep sir? Not that
So
much?
there is no world database in mind.
Okay,
Not
you have no world databases. I think you have installed, you have like particularly skipped any one of the steps, right? So not such an issue. I'll tell you how to particularly create a database, and I'll definitely give you the CSV file. Then I'll tell you how to particularly import that file in the same database, and definitely you can run the same query what I am running, right? Mohit, is it clear?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now, this is the way to particularly comment out any string. I think you are already aware of that because you have learned so much in Python, right? So MySQL is again a particular tool, and in this we have to write a SQL query, and hyphen hyphen is a commenting process, right? Mohit, you can simply use this hashtag as well, right? Suppose this is Harry is good person, right? Harry is a good person, something like this. Okay, so this is not a code. This is not a SQL query. This is just a SQL statement. Yes or no? Now, your major task is to create a database. How you can create a database? So for that, you have to write a create command. A create database. This create and database both are highlighting in blue colors, right? This is just a theme. But why these colors exactly represents? It represents that all these create and databases are a part of inbuilt keywords. Is it the same thing as we have discussed in Python? Yes or no, Mohit? Right? So you
Yes.
have to write create database and then followed by any database, whatever the name that you want to give. Guys, let me know any name. I have more than 50 of databases, right? So give me any unique name. Pradeep sir, Mohit, guys, any guess? No? Okay, I think I have to give the name, right? So you have to let me take um, create database Noida. Yes or no? I'm creating a
Yes.
Noida database. Right now we are in Noida. That's why I'm creating a Noida database, right? And you have to make sure that, guys, once you are writing this query, you have to particularly terminate this query. How can you terminate this query? Guys, there is no such requirement of terminating this query in different programming languages. But if you're working in SQL development, then you have to give the terminator as well, right? And this terminator
Yes.
directly represent that this query ends here. Yes or no? Can I say this, Mohit? Right? Now what you
Yes.
have to do, you have to just simply select all these queries, right? And you can either click on any one of them, right? Either this or this one. If you just simply click on this, it will try to execute this query. If everything looks good, then it will give you the correct output, which is green tick, and it says that create database Noida. This is your this was your action, and the message is one rows affected. It means it created a database, and the name of database, Pradeep sir, is Noida. Yes or no? Mohit, any doubt?
No, sir.
Now, what you can do, you can just simply refresh this schemas, right? All these schemas is also a databases, right? And because the database name is Noida, then you have, because all these names are arranged alphabetically, then you have to just simply click on check where Noida is. I think this is the Noida, yes or no? Is this one candidate? Noida. Now, what you have to do, you can just simply double click on it to particularly select this database, or either Pradeep sir, you can do one more thing, which is use this database. Now, which database I want to use, Mohit? I want to use Noida. I can just simply write use Noida, right? Any doubt related to this?
No,
No?
sir.
Now again, Mohit, because I know that this is a complete statement, that's why I have to give this terminator as well, yes or no? Right? So is there any shortcut to particularly run this query? Of course we have, and that shortcut is similar to Python shortcut. What was the Python shortcut to run any queries or run any code in Python, Mohit? It was
So
shift
control
enter.
enter. Yeah.
Shift
Yes, sir.
enter, right? And you can just directly hit control enter there, right? Control enter means you have successfully run this query, right? Now, once you have particularly run this query as well, which is create database Noida, and it says if any database has been created, it cannot be created again, right? If I want to run this query again, it will definitely give me an error, and it says that this database already exists. Let me run this, guys, with the help of control and enter. And you can see here that it will give the red colored mark, and it says in message that you cannot create a database which is Noida because it already exists. Yes or no? Pradeep sir, any doubt?
No, sir, no.
No? Perfect. Now what you
Yes.
have to do? Guys, we have successfully created our database. We have successfully used the database. Now what we can store inside any database? Mohit, because we are working in MySQL Workbench using the SQL queries, and I have already explained you that if we are working on SQL queries, whatever we are working, we have to directly or indirectly store a tabular data only. Yes or no? So
Yes,
inside
sir.
this database, we have to just only store the tables only, right? Now you have two different ways to particularly work on that. Either you can simply import the data, or just you can write a query to particular create a table, right? Let me just show you different approach one by one, right? So first of all, I want to import a tabular data. For that, you have to click on this table, and there are different options. Pradeep sir, you have to click on this table data import wizard, right? Mohit, you have to make sure that this MySQL only allows you to particularly select these data types only. What are those data types? CSV and JSON format, right? I think you guys are already aware of that, yes or no? CSV is the
Yes,
comma
sir.
separated values, and JSON is the JavaScript object notation. It is somehow it is some sort of similar to, right? Like dictionary in Python. Yes or no, Pradeep sir? JSON format, right?
Yes, sir.
Now
Jason.
guys, what you have to do, first of all, just click on this browse, because Mohit, you know that this can only allows you to pick a CSV file, so that's why it's showing you the list of all CSV file available in your desktop, right?
Yes.
Now I'll just simply select this employee, and particularly click on this open button, right? If everything looks good, you have to just simply click on this next button. Now it will give you the three different options. Either you are creating existing table or you are creating something new table. Because we are creating new table, that you have, that's why you have to just simply select this databases. Because we are importing this table inside Noida databases, it generally pick this databases by default, yes or no? And that it gives you the employee table name as well. Where did it pick this table name, guys? Where did it get like particularly get this name? Because my sheet, my table, my like workbook name was employee. That's why we are getting this employee, right? Mohit, I can just simply override this or rename this. Is it? Yes or no? Candidates. Now, if there is like similar table existing in this Noida databases, I'll just simply click on this drop table if it is exists, right? Just simply
Yes,
click on
sir.
this next button. It will try to encode this and it will try to find out this is by default encoding format, and it will give you the possible columns values, right? And with the data type as well. Employee names is a string data type or text data type in nature. Salary is an integer format. Address is in text format. Designation and employee ID, so on, right? Pradeep sir, it will try to give you the preview of this data, right?
Yes, sir.
From employee ID to designation. Now what you have to do, if you are particularly satisfied with this result, then simply click on this next button and just wait for a while. Again click on this next button, and if everything seems good, then just click on this next button. Because that particular table has only 5 records, it will say you have successfully imported the 5 records. Now just click on this finish button, and guys, you have particularly selected table inside this Noida database. Can I say this? Now, what you have to do, just simply click right button and refresh this Noida database. Now click on this refresh all. It will give you an icon which is like something this. And if you just simply click on this, Mohit, it will give you the suggestion like, is this one the table that you have just recently imported? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Employee table. Now, what will be your next task? Mohit, any guess?
Like, sir, reading the table.
Yeah, reading the table. Yes or no, Pradeep sir? Now we would like to particularly explore our table. What exactly the different columns we have, right? What are the different data we have inside this employee, right? I
Yes.
just want to particularly explore this table. To particularly view all the records, you have to guys write simple query,
Select
which is the
select a sheet
right,
from
which
the
is a
table name.
very basic SQL statement, and it's something like this: select star from
Table name.
where, Mohit?
Employee name.
From table name. What exactly the table name is? Employee.
Employees.
Yes or no, guys? Select star from employee. What exactly this star represents? This
From
star represents
all the data.
all the columns, sir.
Yes,
Pradeep
sir.
sir, all columns, right? Or
Yes,
not
yes.
all tables, right? Select star from employee, right? And I think, guys, this one is the basic English statement and very basic to learn. Yes or no? Very basic to understand as well if we are working as a SQL developer. Can I say this, Mohit, right?
Yes, sir.
Mohit, am I audible? Yes, perfect. Now what you have to do, just simply put this delimiter. This delimiter can be changed in future. Right now this delimiter is semicolon, right? You cannot directly give the colon, right? Just simply press Control and Enter. It will try to read all the data inside this table, and these are the data. Pradeep sir, any difficulties with this query? Or Mohit, is
No,
it perfect, right? Yes or no? Mohit, we have
Yes, sir.
successfully read all the data of this employee table, right? Employee ID to designation, whether he is Ajay Verma, Ravi Khanna, and whether he is from HR or designation is HR as well, right? Now, what is your second query? Guys, we have successfully learned the concept of how to particularly import a data, right? Now, what is our next step? Our next step is to particularly select records based on some filters, right? Filter out some record. Can I say this?
Yes, sir.
Now, how can you filter out some records? In short, you have to filter out the records, right? Mohit, I just only want like give me the list of students or the employee if he is from IT background or IT department, if he is working in IT department, right? I want something like this. Yes, you know, guys, is this is visible or not? Just let me know.
Yes, sir.
Okay, visible, right? Now, Mohit, you know that as of now we have only three candidates: Mohan Verma, Karan Verma, and Ajay Verma. All three are from department, IT department, right? Now, what you have to do? We will use a where clause. A where clause, CLAUSE, a where clause is used to filter records. Yes or no? How we can use this? Very easy to use. Select star from employee. Just simply press enter. Write where and in which column you want to
Department
particularly
equal
figure
to
out
IT.
this. Right, perfect. Where department is equals to with, because the data type was textual, right? And it is textual in nature, right? So you cannot just directly like give this. You have to
String
particularly
format.
enclose this inside
Yes.
this string, right? You guys already aware of this, right? Yes or no? Now, because this query looks good, this blue dot says that whatever that you have written is looks good, right? Now, what you have to do, Mohit, just simply press control hand enter, right? It will give you the result based on filtered records. Yes or no, Mohit?
So is it case sensitive
No.
like IT?
Very good question. SQL is in case sensitive language, right? It is not a case. It is not a case sensitive language. Why it is not a case sensitive language? Suppose we have millions of records inside a single column, and if there is something like a limitation of case sensitivity, I'll not get the all records. Yes or no? We have to particularly make sure about the codes, the particularly uppercase, lowercase cases as well, right? So that's why SQL is not a case sensitive language. Now, how can we prove this? Mohit, how can we prove this? Right? I can prove this with the help of this IT. Can I just run this? I know that we have written capital IT in this column, and right now I am calling this with the help of this small it, right? And if I just
Yes,
run
sir.
this, I'll get the same result. Yes or no? So is it not like that you have to just only give the lowercase value? You can apply the same concept in column context also. It is not like that you have to give the same case as it was in column, right? You can give a capital letter, you can give the mixed of capital as well as small. Yes or no? It will give you the same result. Pradeep sir, any doubt related to this? No?
No, sir. No.
Mohit, I think this one is perfect, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, because guys, we know that this star represent, we have to fetch all the columns, right? Not all the records, right? All the columns. Records could be based on these filters, right? The star not represent that you are fetching all the records of in rows wise, in not row context. It is on filter context. Suppose Mohit, I want to only particular fetch employee name, their salary and their department. Now what I can do? Just let me know, Mohit.
We can simply write column names.
Yeah, we can just simply write column name and each column name is separated with comma, right? Now, how? EMP employee ID, comma, salary, comma, department, right? And I'll get the same result. Mohit, what in case I want my department just before the salary? Now, what I can do? I can just simply rearrange this. Yes or no? There is no such hardcore concept that you have to particularly make sure that you have to write it there and it should be there only. No, it is not like that. You can call any column before or after any column. It should be a part of table. If it is not, definitely it will give you the error, right? And in this way, you can get IT department just before this salary column. Mohit, Pradeep sir, and Pame, any doubt?
No, sir. No.
No, I
No.
think this one is perfect, right? Now,
Yes.
candidate, a second topic is to particularly focus on how to create a table with the help of this query, not just simply importing the table, right? Now, second task is to create a table. I think we have successfully understood the concept of how to create a database. Yes or no? Mohit, right? Now we'll
Yes.
create a table. CREAT, create table. Pradeep sir, how can we create a table inside this? Just let me know.
Create table name,
Yeah,
table name.
create table and table name, right? Suppose my table name is students details. Can I say this, Pradeep sir? Right? Student details.
Yes,
Wait,
yes.
why we are putting underscore there if I want to separate my students with this details? Why we are using this? Pradeep sir, any guess?
Because sir, it does not allow spaces.
No, it allows, right? It it, it allows to particularly we can use this spaces as well, but not with like not directly. We have to give some backtick concept, right? We can give spaces if it is required, right? But we have to make sure we have to use this backticks. I don't want to particularly work like this. That's why I just simply use underscore. If it is required, I can just simply give the backticks, right? And we can use the space
Yes.
as well. Okay, Pradeep sir. Now, this is my
Okay, sir.
table name. Now, what we have to do, Pradeep sir? Create table, table name, candidates, then followed by the schema of that table. What exactly the schema of table? Schema of table means overall structure of table.
Yes,
What will be
column
your
and
first
insert type.
column? What will be your second column? What will be your third column, right?
Yes.
Now, because this is my student table, Mohit, definitely I want to give student
Student ID.
ID as my first column, yes or no?
Yes.
Right, Mohit? Now, you have
Yes,
to
sir.
make sure that if you are creating a table inside MySQL, first of all, you have to give the column name, then you have to give the data type of values that it can contain once we are inserting the data inside the table. Guys, is it clear? You
Yes.
have to make sure that these column can only contain these data types or this data type, right? So student id should be only integer in nature.
Teacher.
It should be
Yes.
integer in nature. I'll just simply give int. Yes or no, Mohit? Now if it is good, I can just simply write comma and I'll give the second column name with second data type, right? What will be my second data type? Sorry, second column name. It is like
Student.
student underscore name,
Student name.
right? Because Mohit, I know that student names going to be textual data in nature, right? So I can give three different data types. The first one is text, the second one is char, which is called
And backer.
character, and the third one is varchar.
Worker.
And we'll use the varchar. Why we'll use the varchar? Varchar is a variable character in nature. I'll give my student name can be length of 20. It will not generally store a length of 20 for each individual name. Suppose if the name is Rama, what are the what exactly the length of Rama, Mohit? Four
So,
letters, right?
for
So it will
yes.
not try to give the 20 space 20 memory consumption to Rama, right? It will give whatever the best possible, right? If I just simply particularly use this char, it will try to give the 20 length, whether it is belongs to particular 4 character or it belongs to 20 character or not, right? So that's why we'll use a variable character, right? In short, it will try to find whether it could be greater than, like it could be less than this also, or it could be this also, right? It will try to give the best possible space, best possible memory, right? Third column is, Pradeep sir, is section, right? Not section, let me just give class, and class is integer in nature. Now our fourth column is like, Pradeep sir, fourth column is student name, class, let me give address. Mohit, is it clear? Again I'll give
Yes.
varchar, and varchar with 20 characters in nature, right? Now this one is my final, which is phone number, right? Again, Mohit, you cannot, like, although you can give spaces, but it is not recommended, right? phone number. What could be the data type, Mohit? It could be number, it could be integer, it could be float, or it is like particular varchar. It could be the perf. Let me know.
So integer.
Integer. So just like particularly think about the scenario, whether like is there any case or is there any scenario where we'll perform a numerical operation over this phone number columns? Is there any like scenario for that? No.
No, sir.
Numerical columns, we'll only give the numerical column. Suppose student id is like 5, we can say I want to fetch all the records of students where id greater than 5. It will try to give me all the records where id greater than 5, right? But it should not be like that I want to particular fetch all the phone numbers where it is greater than this. Is there any requirement to particularly run this
No,
type of
sir.
query? No. So I'll just simply take this as a varchar, right? Pradeep sir, it's fine.
Yes, yes.
And let me just give this a 12, right? Because I know that sometime it could be 12 in nature as well, with if I just
N-
simply include the postal code,
Nine,
right?
nine, one. Yes.
Now you have to Moise just simply give this terminator, hit control and enter. If everything looks good, it will give you the green output. And again, if you have created a table which is students detail, now you cannot create a table with the same name. The same name does not mean that you can just simply change this. Again, because you know that a SQL is case insensitive, it is considered as same as it was. Yes or no? Students detail, whether it is capital or it is small, it can be it is considered be the same. Mohit, can I say this? If I just run this, it will try to give me the error, right? That error is students detail already exists. Pradeep sir, any doubt?
No.
Right. Mohit, because we have successfully created a table. Now what is our like the next approach? Mohit,
So
next
like deleting the table.
our next approach is to particularly check the headers of this table. Select star from students details. I think this one is my table name, yes or no? And it will give me the basic result. And it says as of now you particularly do not have any records. That's why you are seeing column headers in just result only, right? Mohit, any doubt? No? Now your second task is to insert a record. Yes or no? Pradeep sir. Insert record or record. Pradeep sir, how we can particularly insert record inside any table?
Insert into table name and column name
Perfect.
values.
So insert into table name. What is our table name? Students details, right? Students details. Now you have to give values. Mohit, make sure the spellings should be correct, right? Students details. You know, insert into table name. Now, if you are inserting all columns value, then it is not recommended to give the column name. Is it clear, Mohit? My
Yes, sir.
like particularly my requirement is I want to particularly give all the values, right? So why should I give all the columns name? Because I know that I'm giving all the values, right? So I'll just ignore that concept, right? I'll just simply give this values, and after these values you have to make a tuple, right? A tuple of a single row. Okay, this is my single row tuple. What is going to be the first value? This is my student id, and my student id is 1. What is my second column values? It is student name, and I know that I have declared a student name column data type varchar in nature. I'll just simply give Mohan Khanna. Can I say this, Mohit, right?
Yes,
What
sir.
is my class? I know it's like 12th class. And what is my address? It's like Noida. And what could be the phone numbers? Let us particularly give uh, within a string, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It seems perfect, right? Mohit, any question related to this?
No, sir.
Pame, Pradeep sir. Do you have any questions, guys? You can just simply let me know.
No, sir.
No? Perfect. Now, Mohit, this is your just one records, right? This is just a one tuple. It means it is just a one record. Now, what about the multiple records if you wants to give? Just simply press comma and press copy, control C, control V, control C, control V, control C, control V, and control C, control V. Yes or no? Just change this to different values. I'll just simply this HARRY Harry Malhotra, 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 right? Mohan Verma, Ravi Khanna, Akshay Dhania, right? Akshay Dhania is the title, okay? And the class is 11th, 10th, 12th, and 11th. Perfect, Mohit, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Let me change this to Greater Noida. This one is Delhi. This one is FARIDABA, Faridabad. And let me again take this as Delhi, right? I'll just simply change some basic values, right? Let me just change this to 88 and simply 00. Yes or no, Mohit? Perfect. Guys, we
Yes.
are inserting 5 records inside into this student's details. Yes or no? There is Mohit, there as of now, there is no such constraint. We cannot particularly insert a duplicate value. Of course, as of now, we can insert duplicate values as well. Why? Because there is no such concept of primary key. A primary key does not allows you to store a duplicate value inside a single column. Yes or no, Mohit? Yes or no, Pradeep sir, right?
Yes.
So can it, if I just simply run this, it will try to insert 5 new records, right? Now Mohit, what is your second task? You have to check whether all these records inserted successfully or not. For that you have to run the select command or select query, yes or no? Select star from here, students details. Now just press Control Enter and it will give you the complete list. If this one is the list that particularly we have created, yes or no? From 1 to 5, Mohan to Akshay, 12 to 11, address Delhi, Noida to Delhi, and something. Yes or no?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Any doubt? Now, if my manager wants this table in Excel or CSV format, I can just simply click on this export and I can store wherever I want, right? Suppose this is my students students details, student DETAILS, student details, and just press enter and you will get your data over there, right? Student details. I think this one is the data that we have just created. Yes or no, Mohit? Pradeep sir, any doubt? No?
No,
Yes.
sir.
Okay. Pame, do you want any any questions as of now if you have?
No, sir.
No, Pame, I'm audible, but you are not audible, right?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay. Is there any question? No, Mohit? You from your side, Pradeep sir?
No, sir.
No, perfect. Now, in this way, we can successfully exported our data, right? And before, like particularly in starting of this class, we have learned the concept of how to import the data. Now we have successfully learned the concept of how to export this data, right? Now, Mohit, you already know that if you want to particularly filters your records, you have to just use the where clause, right? Now, my
Yes.
question is, I want to fetch all the records of students having class greater than 11, greater than or is equals to 11. What will be my query? Pradeep sir, select star from student details, right? Then use where. class greater than is equals to 11. Yes or no?
Yes.
If you just run this, you'll get the perfect result, right? Now, suppose Mohit, I want to particularly fetch a data where my students belongs to Noida only, right? Noida and class 11 or greater than 11, right? In that case, we have to use AND operator. We have to use AND operator, and I can just simply write and it's class particularly greater than is equals to 11 and Pradeep sir and
Address equal to
address and
Noida. Address
address
equal to
is
Noida.
equals to
Noida.
Noida. Very perfect, right? If you just run this, you'll get only the one records. Why, Mohit? Because there's only one records which successfully satisfies these conditions. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Pame, any question as of now? Mohit, Pradeep sir? No? Now guys,
No,
there
sir.
is a
No.
concept which is called CRUD operation, which is called CRUD operation. This CRUD operations means C
Create,
means we are
create, read,
delivering something.
update, and create, read,
Right?
update, delete.
Perfect. Create, read, and U represent update and D represent
Delete.
delete or drop, right?
Drop.
We can
Yes.
either delete or drop. Delete or drop of what? Anything. Anything like whatever is present inside this database, including database as well, multiple databases and so on, right? Mohit, any doubt? Now, I think we have successfully particularly understood the concept of how to create a table, how to create a database. Now, we already aware that we can read the records inside a table, yes or no, or a table, right? Now we have to focus on how to update a record or records, how to delete a record or records, and how to particularly drop anything, whatever that we have just created. Mohit, any doubt? Now, if you
No, sir.
try to particularly update any record, it will try to give you an error. Let me just show you. Suppose Mohit, I want to particularly update this address from Delhi to East Delhi, from Delhi to East Delhi, right? Of particular one candidate, which is student ID 3. Yes or no? Mohan Verma only. Yes or no? Now there is a problem for new candidates if you are like particularly installing this time first time, it will not allows you to particularly run update and delete query. Yes or no? So for that candidate you have to click on this edit and then click on this preferences. Yes or no, Pradeep sir? Now click on this SQL editor and untick this, right? Uncheck this. Yes or no, candidates? And if you, because it try to reject all your updates and delete executions or delete queries, right? If you have successfully unchecked this, then click on this OK, and now you can perform update and delete operation as well. Pradeep sir, if I want to particularly update this Mohan Verma's address from Delhi to East Delhi, what will be my query? Update query.
Update table name.
Update
Table name.
table name. Perfect. You have to give Mohit table
Set.
name.
Set.
Yes.
Set.
Set
Column. The
column. Which
all
column,
page.
Mohit? Which
Add,
column I want to update?
address.
Address. Yes or no, Mohit? I want to update address, right? So
Yes, sir.
I'll just simply give update student details, which is a table name. I want to set what? I want to set ADDRESS. I want to
Address
set
equal to
what? I want to
East Delhi.
set address is equals to East Delhi, right?
East Delhi. Where?
So Mohit, if I just simply run this, sir,
Yes.
what could be the issue?
All the address is East Delhi.
East Delhi, right? It will try to particularly update all Delhi to East Delhi, and this is the issue, right? That's why the by default behavior does not allows you to particularly run this update and delete query. Yes or no, Mohit?
You need
Now
to where can you?
you have to give the where clause, right?
Yes.
How? You have to just simply write Mohan Verma is represented by a student ID, not with the name. Yes or no? Right? So I'll just simply give Mohit where student ID, student ID, where student ID is equals to Mohit what?
3.
3, right? And now if I just run this, it will update current records. And if I just run this previous query, it will be something like this: from Delhi to East Delhi. Mohit, is it perfect? Right? Now I want to update a multiple call. Suppose I want to update this Ravi Khanna to Mr. Ravi Khanna and promote this class, not promote, demote this to 11 and make this Faridabad to West Faridabad. We want particularly to update 3 columns, right? Mohit, let me know the query. I have to just simply write update students,
That is student detail. Set address.
set. First of all, we want name should be Mr. Ravi Khanna. Yes, you know. I'll just write student underscore name is equals to what, Pradeep sir? Mr.
Mr. Ravi Khan.
Mr. Ravi Khanna. Then I have to put comma. Yes, you know.
Yes.
Then
And
if class
class equal
and
to
class is equals to, I want to demote this 11, and then
address.
address is equals to Mohit what? West Faridabad. Yes, you know. If I just run this, what could be the issue? It will try to update all the values,
All
right?
the colleges.
From student name to class to addresses, you know. So it's not recommended to run it right now.
Where,
Now
where
give the
student
where
ID is equal to
clause
4.
where
Student ID equal to 4.
student ID is equals to what?
4.
4. Yes or no, Mohit? Perfect. If I just run this and just run this select star from, now it's something like this: Mr. Ravi Verma, Ravi Khanna, class 11th, and he's from West Faridabad. Mohit, I think this one is perfect, right? It's
Yes.
easy. Now, you have to work on how to delete records. So, suppose I want to delete this Akshay Dhania, right? So, I'll just simply write this delete query. Delete, Pradeep sir, delete table name. What exactly the table name is? Delete from students students details. Pradeep sir, this query looks good, right? If I just run this, Mohit, what could be the issue? Pradeep sir, candidate,
It's
am
a
I audible?
yes, it's a delete all the record of the table.
Yeah,
All the part.
it will delete all the records. Yes or no,
Yes.
Mohit? Right?
Yes.
So that's why you have to very careful about this, right? That's why the MySQL developers by default does not allows you to particularly run update and delete query. It could might lead to failure of all these tables, data and databases, right? So you have to just simply write where student ID is equals to 4, right? Not 4, let me just take 5. I'll just run this. Table Noida. Okay, where is the issue, right? Delete from table. What was the issue, guys? I think this there is some typo mistake. DETAILS. Yes or no?
Sir, detail spelling. Yes, sir.
Okay. If I just run this, it's
Uh,
fine.
de- sir,
Now, if I just run
delete
this,
from student detail.
right, perfect. Select star from student details. Mohit, it will give me only the 4 records. Yes or no? Not the
Yes.
5 records. Now I want to delete candidates which is greater than class 10. Select not select, delete from students details where class greater than is equals to greater than 11. Let me take greater than 11. Greater than is equals to 11. Yes or no? Now if I run this and if I run this again, I'll only have one record. Yes or no? Go ahead.
Yes.
Now because we have insert query, again we can insert the same data. Yes or no? This is the power of SQL, right? If you want to insert all the values, all the rows, you can just simply click control and enter. It will try to insert all the values, right? If you just run this query again, you will get all the new values. Yes or no? From the
Yes.
duplicate one also, right? Mohan Verma and Mohan Verma. Now I know that I can delete all the records. Yes or no? I'll just simply write delete from my table name. What is my table name? Students details. It will try to delete all the values, but it try to delete all the values one by one, right? That's why we have some another concept which is called truncate table. Yes or no, Pradeep sir? Now if I just run this, right, now I'll only have 0 records with the column name only. Yes or no? 0 records with column name. Mohit, any doubt?
No.
Suppose I again want to particularly insert all the records, just do nothing, hit Control and Enter. It will run all the insert commands, and if you just run this select star from different details, it will give you all values with all records, right? Now suppose you don't want to delete all the records, you want to truncate. Truncate will particularly delete all the rows in just one go, irrespective of delete, right? It will try to pick one row at a time and then delete this, right? What is the truncate query, sir? Pradeep, sir, any guess related to this? Mohit, you have to write truncate and then table name. Yes or
Table
no?
name.
If you just
Yes.
run this, it will
Yes.
say
Spelling
again,
error.
what is the issue?
Spelling errors.
Again, typo DETAILS, right? And all rows will be affected. And if I just run this, there is no such rows. Yes or no? And in this same way, you have learned the concept of delete command, right? Update as well. Now, what is the use of this drop command, Pradeep sir? With the help of this drop command, I can permanently delete anything, whether it is database or it is table. Yes or no? So
Yes.
you
Yes.
have to just simply write whatever that you are dropping. If you are dropping table, just simply write drop table and then followed by table name. Yes or no, Pradeep sir? Drop table name.
Oh,
If
yes.
I just run this, it will drop my table from my database. And if I just simply refresh this, yes or no, Mohit? I'll get
Yes.
not, I'll drop table student details. Let me just refresh this, right? Why there is particularly table employee over there, right? Okay, so we are in, right, this is not a employee detail, right? Let me just drop this employee table as well. Yes or no? Particularly just show you that this employees will also be deleted if we are using drop query or drop command. Pradeep, sir, any doubt? Go
Okay.
ahead. If I just run this, there is no such table as of now, right?
Yes,
Now,
sir.
can I particularly drop this database also? Of course, we can drop this. So for that, you have to write drop database and then followed by database name. Drop database and Noida. And if you just run this, there is no such Noida database. Now again, you can create database and you have also same query as well, create database Noida. But my question is, I can also write this, create schema with the name of this database. Yes or no? This is the same statement as create database Noida. Mohit, yes or no? No?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If I just run this, it's created a particular schema which is Noida. Now the Noida is there. If I want to drop this, I can again drop this. If I want to create this, I can just simply create this. Let me particularly create table again, which is student details. Let me check whatever the records in that particularly. No database is selected. It says no database is selected. You have to run this query. Use Noida. Now you want to particularly create a table. Just do nothing. run this query. Mohit, you can either run this in this way or just simply press control and enter, right? If you just insert this, let me let me make sure particularly this is the new data only, right? Gaurav, I want to store Gaurav Dhania. If I just simply run this and with this select star from student details, it will give you the complete detail, right? In this way, candidate, you can create a table, create a database, update a table, update delete table, drop database. You can insert rows, simple rows, multiple rows. You can update columns, simple and multiple. Yes or no? Candidate Pradeep, sir, any doubt? Pame, any issue?
No, sir. No, sir.
So guys, this is enough for today. Now what's your homework? Your homework is to particularly again work on this CRUD operation. That this CRUD is basic concept any interviewer might ask you. Yes, yeah, no, Pradeep sir, right? What do you
Yes, yes.
understand by CRUD operation? This CRUD operation represent Mohit, create, read, update, and delete. Sometimes we can also say this drop because D also represent with the help of D. Now the concept is Mohit, everything's matching, right? C is matching with create, U is matching with update, D is matching with delete. But why R is not matching, right? Because a select statement is for reading statement, right? But we have to give some basic basic nomenclature. That's why we have given this a CRUD name. Yes or no? Now your task is to particularly create some database, right? Import flat file, right? Import flat file, create some table, right? Whether they can be like related to student, employee, and some government, particularly politicians, etc. Yes or no? Now you have to perform all the queries, whatever that we have just learned so far. Pradeep sir, any doubt? Pame, any issue? Mohit, it's perfect. And guys,
Yes.
this is the beginning class of MySQL, right? And I think in this class we have already learned so much about what exactly the MySQL is, how we can particularly create data, how we can import, how we can export, and how we can particularly filter record as well if it is required. Yes or no? With any doubt?
No, sir.
No.
No.
Okay. So I think guys, it's enough for today, right? So we'll start with next topic in next class, and then we'll see what could be the next, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Pradeep sir, any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, perfect.